How's it going, everybody? I'm Benjamin Wolf, and welcome to the Wolf's Den. Today's video is going to show you how to create hi-hat pitch dive rolls in Reason 12. I decided to dive a little deeper into this subject because a subscriber commented on a past video of mine asking, how do you get it to where you can change the octave within the sequencer, i.e. hi-hat rolls? This may be a problem for some newer users for Reason because while using a drum sequencer like Redrum or Kong, it doesn't automatically show a piano roll to do any octave shifting or pitch dive rolls. To solve this problem, you're going to want to load up your hi-hat into a sampler instead. Okay, so let's say you're ready to work on a hi-hat pattern for your track. You go ahead and pull in a Redrum, load up your hi-hat sound, and then you go into the edit mode to lay down your hi-hat pattern. As you can see, there's no piano roll. This makes it difficult to do any kind of octave shifts or pitch dive rolls. So instead of pulling in a Redrum or Kong, you can pull in a sampler, something like the Mimic Creative Sampler. Then you can go ahead and load in your hi-hat sound. And when you're working with the sampler for hi-hats, go ahead and make sure you put that velocity up. That lets you do little detailed things to the velocity of your sound. And now, as you could see, instead of it having that single line for your hi-hat, it now has the piano roll. So you could do things like the octave shifting or the pitch dive rolls. Now these pitch dive rolls, you'll have to mess with them, see how they sound in your song. But this is an easy way to get those pitch changes using a sampler instead of using Redrum or Kong. So let's say you wanted to add some of those octave shifts somewhere in the song. Now your bass sound is going to be on C, C3. Octave would be down to C2. And you could always experiment with different portions of your song. And if you'd like to stay within Redrum and not move into a sampler, there are a few other ways you can try to get that same effect. So now you see once you're back in Redrum, you go ahead and hit edit mode, and it only has that single line. Sticking with this way, it's impossible to do those pitch shift dives and the octave shifts. One way you can do this is by loading in the same hi-hat to other portions of your Redrum. And then on the other instances of your hi-hat, you can pitch shift it down. So now instead of needing the piano roll, these have the pitch adjusted for them, and you could put them on the other lines. And with the pitch all the way down on the redrum, that's an octave down. So you can do things like the octave shifts too. Another way you could accomplish this effect when sticking in Redrum and not going to a sampler is by automating the pitch. Let's go ahead and move these back down to position. So let's say you didn't want to load in those other samples, so you could simply automate this single pitch here. That's by right-clicking on pitch shift, and it pulls up its own separate lane. So these three are going to want to do the octave shift. And then these last three, you're just going to want to have a slope down. So there you go, that's 3 different ways you can have the same effect, going between the sampler or sticking in Redrum. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully it helped you on your music production journey. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you can see all my upcoming music production videos. Thanks again everybody, see you next time.